Hey, it's Gavin Simon again here. Welcome to another video in my Lightroom series, trying to make Lightroom as fast and simple as possible. Let's talk about filtering and rating. So we've got a catalog, we've imported images into Lightroom. Maybe we've done even a little quick developing in here and maybe put some ratings and color labels and things like that. But what do we actually do with that? How can that make us more efficient? Let's just jump over here and you can see that I've switched over to my main catalog that has lots of images. So I have lots of stuff to show you in this. But what I can do is I showed you how you could go through and rate images either by clicking or by just using shortcuts like 5 for 5 stars, 4 for 4 stars. But what do we do with that? Well, the next thing we can do, let's say we've gone through, maybe we've edited a session or a wedding or a project, and we want to focus editing on only those well-rated images. So let's say my best images are my 5 stars, or my filler images are my 4 or my 3 stars. I can filter down to those and only do my heavy editing on those. Maybe I've applied a preset to the images, like from Power Workflow, from Filmic, something like that on import, just to give them a good starting look. I've done that quick develop to kind of balance out the exposures and do a speed edit like we talk about in other videos. But now I want to do the more advanced editing. You don't need to waste time editing the blurry shots and all that kind of stuff. Sure, you can copy and paste settings across images, and I'm going to show you that in one of the next videos. But let's say we come into Lightroom here, and the first thing I want to do is just filter down. So you can see here that I have my filter bar down here above the thumb strip. And there's a lot of ways that it allows me to filter. So I can turn off and it'll say no filter. If I click 4 stars, it's going to say custom filter. Well, I filtered 4 stars and higher. I can actually change that though. If I click this little arrow next to the 4 stars, I can say rating is greater or equal to, less than, equal to. So I could, for example, say show me only 4-star photos, and there's not a lot of those in here because I'm in a folder that's mostly my highly rated images. Show me only 5-star photos, etc. Normally I'm going to use rating is greater than or equal to. Now, I've filtered by stars, but then I could filter further and say, show me only yellow labels or show me only red labels within those 4 stars. So a lot of times when I'm editing, I'll say, hey, 5 stars are my best, but sometimes even that's too many, and then I'll hit a red label or a green label, and I'll say, well, the red labels that are also 5 stars, those are my feature images, right? Those are the ones I want to maybe put on my Instagram or that are going straight to print, something like that. So you can filter down in a lot of different ways without even getting into keywords and things like that, just with the basic color filters. Now remember, if you look down here, you can see it shows the collection, the folder I'm in, etc. I'm in collection class main, okay? We'll look at collections very soon. What I want to point out here is that it says 14 of 58 photos. Sometimes this can be confusing for people that are getting starting out because they're like, I should have more photos than this. And what's actually happened is they filtered their photos down so they're not seeing everything. Always remember to look down and see if you're seeing all of the photos. And this is a quick reference. I actually love this, that I can quickly look and say, hey, there's 58 photos in this group I'm in. I'm only seeing 14 of them. So I immediately know if I filter down. And in this case, I can look and I can see how it says custom filter. I could change these ratings, or if I wanted to, I could actually just click over here and turn off all the filters, and it would now show me everything. You can see here that it says 58 photos, 1 selected, right? And so this changes dynamically depending on what I'm doing, just to give me feedback and help me be efficient and not get confused. And Lightroom is pretty good about this. While apps like Capture One are really great, I think most people, if they're jumping in, are going to find Lightroom a little more intuitive and a little easier just to jump in and go. Now, there is more filtering you can do if you go to Find or if you turn on the filter bar at the top, which is also the slash key. So if I hit that backslash key when I'm in here, it's going to bring up this filter bar. Here, I can filter by dates. I can filter by cameras. I have all these options to filter by specific lenses. And if I click on any of these options, I can change what those parameters are. So I could say, no, let's sort by file type. Let's sort by focal length, lens. I can pretty much filter by anything here. And you'll also notice that at the top here, you can also go to this filter options in the corner and turn on, for example, rated, and you can bring up this same rating and color and flagged attributes bar just like we had below. And if you click something here like filter to red images, you'll notice that it's also on down here because those are actually the same settings. You can just access them from both places. Now, if you hit the backslash key again, it will actually hide that upper filter bar, or you can go right up here and just do it from here, show filter bar in the view menu. And likewise, you can hide the filter bar in the same way. Normally, I will use the top filter bar for actually searching. You can search metadata, file names, keywords you may have added. So you have the search field up there, as well as all the other parameters, like if I want to filter by a certain lens, a certain camera type, only RAW, only JPEG, only video files. You can do all that in the top bar. Generally, if I'm filtering just by rating or color, I'm just going to stick right down here in the bottom filter bar here, and I can just at any time activate one of these filters and filter by it and deactivate it to unfilter by it. So it makes it very quick. I use both, but my go-to filter bar for things like ratings is going to be right down here. So now that you've done that, you know how to rate, you know how to flag. You can do rejects. For example, if you hit the X key and reject a photo, you'll see that it gets this little X here, and just like that. Now, I don't delete very many photos when I'm shooting. Sometimes I will hit delete. Sometimes I'll hit reject on completely blurry photos and things like that. So as you're going through, you could, for example, click X to reject a photo, which is going to kind of make it that grayed out to indicate that it's been rejected. Don't forget to unclick that if you did it by accident. You can also click P to flag a photo. So you can see if I press P, it puts a flag on it, and I can also manually put a flag by just clicking the flag. And this is another way that down in the filter bar, we could say, well, photos that are flagged rejected. Show me photos that have a flag. And you can see that those photos I just flagged are now in here. If I unflag one, it takes it out. So essentially what we have, whether it's flagging or ratings or colors, all these are different means to just quickly go through and identify photos in whatever workflow works best for you. And then you can filter to show only those photos so you can edit them, export them, move them into collections, etc. And we'll show you in the next video how to take these groupings and make them into collections so that you can organize them even further. The main thing is don't get overwhelmed by all this. You don't have to use every one of these. Find the one for now that works best for you, the type of rating or color coding system that you like, and just go with it and filter it using Lightroom's built-in tools, and it should work just fine. All right, we'll see you on the next one.